No one really asked for this, but I'm going crazy making my next main video, so I wanted to break it off with something. So here are the main pieces of gear that I use to make the videos on my main channel. For my main camera that I shoot all my main videos on, I use this, the GH5 Mark II, with either the kit lens or, as of recently, a more wide-angle lens that I'll throw up a picture of because I don't want to switch it out and everything. And if it looks a little dark and the shutter speed is a little high right now, it's because these are the exact settings that I use in front of the green screen, and I don't want to change them because I'm gonna have to continue shooting one of my main videos tomorrow, and I'm gonna forget that I changed the ISO and it's gonna look shitty. For secondary angles, I mostly use this, the Canon X-A10. Came out in 2010, and it has a very soft image, not very super high def, but again, it works as like a secondary camera if you don't look too closely. This is also the camera I use to shoot most everything on the second channel. Now, if I'm not using the X-A10 as my secondary angle, I'm probably gonna be using this going forward. Gonna brighten that up a bit. This is the Canon C100, and it's an absolute beast in terms of size and weight. But you also can't flip the monitor forward. It only shoots in 1080p, and you can get some good footage with this, but it doesn't feel like a very good studio camera. I got this essentially at a flea market for very cheap, and I don't know, I might be getting rid of it. I haven't quite decided yet because I haven't really had the opportunity to work with it that much. But as you can see, I think it looks decently good for being such an old camera. But I haven't been able to get the autofocus to really play, so yeah. Sometimes if I want to go lo-fi, I use this. This is the Canon Legria FS200. Also a very old standard def camera. A lot of the time I'll screw on this little wide angle lens on it. I used this for the toast sandwich and the Wikipedia iceberg thing, and also I think there's at least one Patreon ad spot where I sit in the bathtub. That's also shot on this. It does both widescreen and 4:3, which I think is nice. If I really want to have that soft analog look, I'll use this camera, which is the Sony DCR HC1000E, and that shoots on mini DV tapes. So this is actually being shot to tape, and I've messed with the settings to make the image soft and glowy. I think it's really nice, especially for outside shots. Inside it's a little underwhelming. Also, I'm using another wide angle adapter on this, which makes it so that when you go very zoomed in, it makes the image softer than it actually is. See that? I don't know how clear it is, but it gives a lot of halation around the edges and stuff. I used this in the Call of the Void video when I was talking about McDonald's opening in my hometown, both for the shot through the doorway of me sitting inside, but also for all of the outside shots that all had that kind of almost Super 8 feel to it. This one also shoots in widescreen if you want it to, by the way, but I'm not going to show that. For audio, I use the Rode Wireless Go 2. You just kind of clip this guy on to your clothes somewhere, and then there's a built-in microphone there. But I don't actually use the built-in microphone. I use this fucking mess right here to actually be able to clip the lav to my shirt. So I just plug that into here, attach this to my chest somewhere, and then it wirelessly sends the audio to this, which through the red cable goes into the camera. So this is attached to my camera. The lav mic is a Boya brand. It's some super cheap Amazon thing. But before I had the Rode Wireless, I just used this. This is the Zoom H2n. If I'm not misremembering, this is dummy cheap. And here in the line in, you can just plug in any lavalier mic, which is what I did. Had this thing in my back pocket, just hit record there, hit record on the camera, clap, and then sync it up in post. So essentially the expensive version of my setup is the GH5 Mark II and the Rode Wireless Go 2. But before that I would just shoot it on this very old camera and get the audio from this very cheap thing. So you definitely don't need the sort of stuff I've gotten. I've mostly gotten stuff because I've saved up money so that I could get things to make stuff just a little bit easier, but not out of necessity at all. Ignore the spooky lighting. If I'm not using a lav mic and I'm instead holding one of these to talk into, this is the Audio-Technica AT2035, connected to the oldest gen Scarlett 2i2 that I currently just run into this 12-year-old MacBook that literally has no other purpose than being an audio recorder. And you didn't ask, but that's it. That's the gear I use for most videos. I hope that was informative, interesting, I don't know. I'm gonna keep working on the main channel video now, but Jesus Christ, this one's taking time. Bear with me, believe me, I'm hacking away at it. Okay, talk to you soon.